It's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang. What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. We back in the confessional, and yeah, we staying lit, big dog. Hey, shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. And shout out to my boy Lucky Wizard Deals, he keeps it lit. Make sure y'all check out the HiveMindLabs.com link in the description and use the discount code everydaypj to save 15% off on your purchase. Please go check that out and see some supplemental protein and fat burners and all that good stuff. You can even get merch from the website. Just use the discount code everydaypj at checkout to save 15%, man. Hey, let's get into it, big dog. Y'all see who we got on the screen. If y'all don't know, she's grown up. Yes, we're talking about Lil Tay. Lil Tay is now, I guess, 14, 15 maybe. But as much capping as she done on the internet in the past, this right here, I don't know what to say about it. It sounds a bit much. It sounds a bit much. But it's a 10-minute video, so we're gonna get into it. Not about to hold you.
So, where do I even start? 5 years ago, I became famous, and my abusive absentee father, who had not been in my life for years up till that point, decided to come back into my life to take control over my career and my money. That's why I disappeared. He started a court case to silence me so I could not speak on what was happening and so he could take control over my money. His name is Chris Hope. This is him. This is Chris Hope. All right. Let's just get into it. Buckle up, because I cannot even tell you the full story. I have to give you a summary of it. So let's just fucking go. First of all, this man, he was bringing, when I was living with him, these are all events that happened before I became famous, because he had not been in my life for years before then. He was bringing random ass women around all the time and literally hooking up with them in front of me. I was a child. And one of those women was named Shima Ali, his assistant. This is her. These are not private this is her Facebook wallpaper. These are not private photos. Oh my God. I remember one time, it was the middle of the night, and I was awakened by them next to me in the bed. And I could literally, she had her hand on my leg, and I was frozen in place. I was so young at that time. I had no fucking idea what was going on. And I was just frozen in place. And then I moved, and then that's when she took her leg off my hand. They were literally in bed next to me. They did not care, and they were literally disregarding the fact that I wasn't even there. That's fucking insane. He was hooking up with random women all the time, and he found them off of Craigslist. This is his Craigslist email to a random woman who had an ad. Okay, this is the email trying to hook up with people. This is my mom talking to somebody about it after she found out about it. It's fucking crazy, but out of all of the random ass women that came and went.
So this is where it's about to get crazy. Now, I was listening to all this. I'm like, man, that's some wild allegations. Now, this girl, if y'all don't remember all her videos where she was like 9 years old, cussing and talking about she's balling and she's rich and nobody got this, and it finally came out that, you know, she was they had a little bit of money. She wasn't as rich as she said she was, but all the homes that she were in were homes that her mom was selling, and the cars were like clients' cars and things like that. She was just doing the videos. So people thought that her mom was exploiting her, and it was actually her and her brother just making these videos while their mom was working, which a lot of her clients didn't mind that they used their cars. So it wasn't nobody was getting exploited. And I think the mom just was like, whatever, because I mean, if you listen to this girl's story, it's crazy. And I think she's holding back. But you could tell that this girl had a lot of childhood trauma, and it just, grew into her acting out, and that's what she did. And then the father came back into her life, and that's why she disappeared. Because I think there was some custody things, especially with the way that she was acting online. This was not common at the time. That she was something new, because the internet was like 5 years ago. Like Instagram was really taking off, so that's when she came on the scene, and we hadn't seen very many kids like acting out like this would and living a lifestyle that she was portraying. So it was like kind of intriguing in a weird kind of way, but I didn't really care for it myself. But and her father he actually made the courts believe that this girl was being exploited by her mom. And that's how he was able to silence her for the past 5 years, which is crazy, man. Hey, you never know what some of these people be going through.
It's fucking crazy, but out of all of the random ass women that came and went, mostly Asian women, because he has an Asian fetish, if you didn't know, only one of them is prominent. And this is where Honey Hope comes into the story. So, Honey Hope, she is Christopher John Hope's wife, currently. And he met her online when she was living in the Philippines. And she is a career scammer. When she was living in the Philippines, she was scamming as a career, which I will get into later. Oh, this is her. That's her right there. That's her and Chris. These are the receipts. This is just one of her victims. This is online. She was a career scammer. So she met Chris Hope online, like usual, because all he wants to do is hook up with women online. But they started having a bond. And he wanted to fly her to Canada, which is exactly what happened. And she left the father of her son to be with Chris because she thought that he would provide her with a luxurious good life and bring her to Canada and all that.
Hey, a lot of people have searched Honey Hope
fucking downhill from there
online
after she entered my life.
Hold on, sister.
When I was living with them, like I said, they were still doing the most out-of-pocket sexual shit in front of me. She would get out of the shower and she wouldn't even put clothes on. And they were always playing these sexually inappropriate movies in front of me, openly in front of me. So that was the norms. Those were the norms in this household. It's fucking sick. And she would always take out her anger onto me. If her son did anything wrong, it would become my fault. And she punched me, she pinched me. Pinching me was a really big thing. Chris mainly shoved me. And this is one of the worst incidents that happened. This is a police report. They were physically abusing me constantly. And like I said, if her son acted out of line, she would use me as a scapegoat and take it out on me. And in fact, physical abuse of me was so common in this household that her son caught onto it, and he was doing it to me too, and they would just egg him on. They forced me to watch many horror movies when I was in their house. One of them was Bride of Chucky, and when they put it on, I couldn't get out of the room, and I was literally sobbing and I tried to put my face into a pillow when they were playing the horror movie in front of me. And Honey Hope, she had me in a chokehold so I couldn't escape. And I had to sit through the entire Bride of Chucky movie when I was young as fuck. And then afterwards, there's a closet in the room. So while I was still in the chokehold, she shoved me into the closet and locked me in there. And she said, go play with Chucky. I thought I was going to die. I was scared as fuck. This traumatized me. They are sick ass people. This is not the only horror movie that I watched, but this is one of the most traumatizing memories that I have, is Bride of Chucky. They were feeding me the most disgusting ass food. Look at this. What is this shit? This is what they were packing me for lunch. My mom had discovered that they were packing me this bullshit for lunch. Rotten, frozen, parasitic, moldy. Look at this. That's candy. That's expired candy. These are my mom's text messages to him, sending him these photos and like, why are you sending this to your child for school? These are the text messages. This is him saying he discovered that my mom was sending me lunches after she found out that I was being given rotten food at his place. So she started dropping me off fresh lunches at school. And then what does he say? He says if she continues doing that, he will continue to deduct child support. And my mom was like, what are you talking about? Because how am I supposed to eat what he's giving me? Look at that fuck shit. What is that? She was giving me fresh homemade food and he was getting angry at her for doing that because I wasn't eating it. But I wasn't eating it anyways because that's disgusting. They did not dress me properly. These are shoes I was wearing. Soles are broken. These aren't even the same pair of shoes. Look. Both of these soles are broken. These are the clothing they were providing for me. Meanwhile, he was so preoccupied, while I was wearing broken ass shoes, he was so preoccupied with providing Honey Hope, his wife, with these designer bags. This is not even everything. This is not accounting for shoes, clothing, makeup, luxury vacations. He was literally fulfilling all of her fantasies while I was wearing those broken ass shoes. This is her collection of bags. Look, this is not even all of it. I've seen more. This is her TikTok. She's openly bragging about her fucking designer collection of bags. Meanwhile, what the fuck was I wearing at their house?
Interesting, huh? Yep. So, is this cap? Is she still capping? Or is she telling the honest truth? If not, if she's telling the truth, then I can see why she was acting out. Her and her brother was doing this wild stuff on social media back then. So, I hope that she gets the help that she deserves. I'm glad she's old enough to speak out and tell her story, because it's the one thing about kids is you really never know, and that's the thing about young kids. They're not able to tell you when they're being abused. Sometimes they somebody did this and they fed me something nasty, and you can get that when they're able to talk. Well, my daughter, she's about to be 3, and half of her words is mumbo jumbo. I could some of the things that she says often, she says them better than her just trying to make up a sentence. But we can understand her enough. But once she gets to the age where she can tell us if somebody's hurting her, you got to sit there and listen to them. And I think her mom was listening to her, but I think her dad is probably sneaky and he and controlling, and he probably has this white man personality, this white privilege, and her mom is Asian, this white privilege that made courts, believe him. I don't know wherever she was for the past 5 years. She says it was because of her dad. So we're gonna believe her over him unless he speaks out and defends this. We're gonna believe her. Shout out to Lil Tay. This next subject we got. Terrell Owens was speaking with Chad Ochocinco, and Terrell Owens says why he doesn't date black women and his experiences with them. Now, while I'm constantly being ridiculed on social media and YouTube for talking about black women, at least I still date them, okay? Now, I do have a assortment of baby mamas in all different flavors. But the thing is, my mother's a black woman, my sisters are black women, my kids are black women. And it doesn't matter what race they're mixed with, they all see themselves as black women. Okay? Not like somebody we know, aka Charlene, who thinks she's Mexican and Hawaiian, but she's a black woman. But then everybody who defends her calls her a black woman when she doesn't even call herself a black woman. But whatever, I digress. Let's get into this. Let's get into Terrell Owens, and y'all can lay off of me and bash him. That's why I'm putting this nigga up here. I already knew he was like this. The internet just finding out because he's telling his truth. But we already knew this.
My experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. When I started dating white girls, my first experience with white girls was when I went to college. I tried to date some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me. I was skinny. I was strong.
Right.
I was teased from high school, even college. I got teased for being dark skinned.
Damn,
So
they tease you, cuz?
Yeah. So there was a lot of self-esteem issues.
Right.
No, I'm being dead honest. So when I got my opportunity, when my first experience with a white girl, I was like, okay, it wasn't bad, but that wasn't. I just totally gravitated to white girls after that.
Right.
That wasn't the situation. So again, my experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. So, but that still didn't deter me from still dating or pursuing black girls. Right. So my thing now is because I know there's the stigma, the stereotypical of athletes, to go off and make money, this and that, and date the opposite color, opposite race. But for me now, where I am, it's not even about color. It's not even about race. For me, it's about somebody that I have some chemistry with, good energy, and I get a good vibe with. That's where I am. Like I said, we all want somebody that's attractive.
Right.
You know what I mean? Aesthetics going to play a big part in it. Anybody that says, "Oh, well, I don't care what the person looks like," that's a lie. That's a lie. We all want somebody that we can roll over and wake up to, that that looks pleasing to the eye. Everybody's experiences have been different. For me, when I grew up, I was in my high school pretty much is 50. I don't know what percentage black, white, but I lived in a black neighborhood. So at the end of the day, I attempted to date black girls. When I was younger, I wasn't as handsome as I am now. I didn't have this beautiful smile as I had I have now.
Hit puberty.
Right. I was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
And when I bloomed, boy, did I bloom.
Well, there you have it, man. When he bloomed, he bloomed. So shout out to Chad Ochocinco for putting this out there. Shout out to Terrell Owens. Now, if y'all remember the show with Terrell Owens, he had his two black friends. I'll tell you, that tall, skinny one, boy, I was like, she fine. I don't know why he won't mess with her, boy, but I mean, she was kind of bossy or whatever, but she was still fine. And that's my ideal black woman. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no, not ideal. That's one I would, But I like them tall. But unfortunately, or fortunately, or unfortunately, whatever, my woman is now short. You know what I'm saying? She bite-sized. She a pint-sized fun bite, okay? So, but she's still a black woman, okay? So, you know, it's all about where you're around, what part of life you in, and what type of women you attract. I'm gonna tell y'all what, man. I went to black schools all my life, and man, I like them dark. I like them thick. The Snickers away from being fat. Okay, I like them. You know, all around. Brown skin, smart. You know, not smart mouth, smart. Okay, and fun. If you could take a joke, you could take this. Okay. So I like that. I like that. But once I moved from the inner city and we moved to the suburbs, it was just white women. I tried dating black women out there. The only black women I dated came from out of state or not out of that city. They didn't live it. They just moved to that city just like I did. You know, their parents got a little money and they came to Oklahoma or moved out to the suburbs just like I did. And then I was like, those are the girls I was attracted to. One of them could do hair. Shout out to her. She had my braids whipped every day. You know what I'm saying? I had my hair flowing out. I could do this. My hair goes side to side. You know what I'm saying? Flowing. But yeah. But then my first white girl I ever dated seriously was my baby mama. And maybe the third white woman I ever dated, or maybe the second woman I ever dated seriously, was a white woman. Okay, I married an Asian woman. Okay, so my first marriage. Now I'm currently with a black woman. It's back with, you know. But I've dated a lot of black women over the years. Like, I mean, y'all just don't see it, but it be out there. It's just who I had kids with at first. They were black. I married an Asian woman. So, you know, I don't really go for color. I'm not attracted to just white women. I don't have an Asian fetish like Lil Tay's dad. And I don't hate black women. In fact, I love black women. I appreciate black women. I appreciate the black women in my life. So let that be a lesson to y'all, man. Love who you want to love. Don't love people because of what society wants you to do. If somebody treats you right, then love them. Ladies, if y'all want to try a white man, I'm not going to be mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, love who loves you. I know a lot of black women that date white men, and one of them is a good friend of mine, and he treats her well. He treats her very well. So, you know, try him out if you want to. If that's your prerogative, go for it. Everyday people, man, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'll holler at you later. Peace.